we're diving into a fun topic today. Finally back into doing some more value-driven videos aside from my little unboxings and other stuff here and there. But hello everyone, welcome back to Wolfpack Wednesday. Now we're at number 17, a series all about giving value back to the board game community. Now, a quick note, if you're new here, hi, my name is Tim, and I'm a board game photographer and videographer. I've also worked with a ton of publishers over 4 years now, and I've done a huge range of sponsored content from playthroughs, tutorials, short form content on Instagram and TikTok, trailers that you might have seen. I've also had a bunch of commissioned photos from lifestyle, which is my most typical one nowadays, to product in the past, to creative photos, and I've also done ad segments. So overall, bottom line, I've done a huge range of sponsored content, and that's why I want to bring this experience on to you. Today's topic comes from an Instagram story that I posted, but if you have any other topic ideas that you want to discuss, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below as you're watching today's video. Now, this question comes from Going Clockwise, who asks, how do you find and approach companies to work with? So let's first talk about finding publishers, and then we'll talk about a 3-step process in how I would approach them. Okay, now in terms of finding publishers, it's super easy because all I would say is find out which game that you are most interested in. That should be a no-brainer, right? Like, think about it right now. What is the #1 game that you want to create content for? Is it Lorcana? Is it Dwellings of Eldervale? Is it Villainous? Whatever game that you want to create, that is going to drive your passion and your overall quality of content if you make something that you want to make something about. The second thing you want to do is think about the idea that you have surrounding your game. Let's say your game is Villainous and your idea is, oh, I want to film this in a dungeon, all of us cosplay as different villains, and we want to do a playthrough with a really beautiful set. When you know what game you want to film, when you know where you want to film it, I'm just giving you like a bunch of different ideas here. Obviously, most of the time it's not going to be on an actual set. Most of the time it's going to be at home, and that's totally fine. But once you know where and once you know what, then you can finally go directly to the publisher and then start asking them and bringing them this idea that I'm gonna break down right now. Okay, look, finding a publisher honestly is super easy. You just find a game that you're interested in, and then you find the publisher's name, you go to the website, but you wanna take it one step further and then start seeing which social media platforms they are mostly active on. Reason why this is important is because it's gonna give you a sort of a case study, and it's going to augment or support your idea after you pitch with them. And some examples, for instance, like I know some off the top of my head, for instance, like Ivy Studios, they have one of the most beautiful websites ever, but they're also very active on Instagram and on TikTok. You also have other publishers which tend to be very active on Facebook, like Stonemeyer and Cardboard Alchemy. Also, they make like their own individual Facebook groups for each game that's coming out and being released. Yeah, Bezzy Games, who is super active on Twitter and on Instagram. And then you also have the Op, who is also very active on both of those platforms as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to go out and reach out to them via a DM, or I honestly hate saying DM. You don't want to reach out to them via message, like direct message, but more so, you want to just see how they are creating content, because that's going to make a huge impact on your pitch. Okay, now when you are approaching publishers, and again, I'm not trying to open the floodgates and have everyone reach out to every single publisher via social media, okay? I'm just telling you how you should think about how you should approach them. By far, the biggest mistake that I see so many content creators do all the time when they are reaching out to publishers and wondering why they don't get a response is this. You need to make your pitch about the publisher and about what they value and what they're looking for versus what you make. So many times I hear so many like, I make this kind of content, I take these type of photos, I can offer this package. That's great. I'm excited for you, and obviously you know what you're doing, but that is not gonna get publishers interested in what you're doing. If you want to increase the likelihood of your responses, if you want to increase the likelihood that a publisher is going to work with you, then you need to right away keep it short and keep it simple and keep it value driven. Bottom line, and if there's one thing that you take away from today's video, it is this: solve their problem. Here's a 3-step process that I use all the time that you are more than welcome to adapt to your own style. Step 1, build a set of examples. Why? Because this builds trust. The worst thing you can do, and one idea that is going to very often fail, That idea is when you pitch an idea without any kind of examples about what your work looks like. Ultimately, you want to educate your clients. And what I mean by that is we are our own experts, right? We know our packages better than anybody else. We know what we're capable of. We know the value that we can provide. Only we know that. And we have to educate our clients and teach them about that asset. One of the best and most promising things that you can do is show results beforehand. Because again, they're buying a digital good, they're buying a service. And that service should have some sort of results, some sort of mood board, some sort of very, very clear and concise plan before they invest money into it. Because think about it, if you're on the publisher side, let's say a content creator is reaching out to you, always like put yourself in their shoes, right? Who would you rather book? A content creator that comes up to you with an email full of like 3 blocks of heavy text with no photos, no video, no examples, or a content creator with short and concise messages just saying, here's what I can offer, here's what I can do for you, here's what it looks like. And then boom, right away they provide assets of what they've done and it looks way more professional, right? So obviously you're gonna pick this one. Even if they both have the same amount of experience, you're more likely to go with this one because this one has taken time to invest into creating and crafting a very good proposal with substantiated ideas and is very results driven versus someone who was a lot lazier in crafting the proposal and seemingly not as experienced as the other just from the look of how your proposal is, right? Blocks of text versus photos, videos, specific examples of past work that you've done. Again, the key takeaway here is that we are pitching a service and publishers have no idea what it's gonna look like. The best thing they can do to reassure them and to build trust on that is to show them what we can do and show results beforehand, even if it's free work. A lot of my stuff beforehand was free work too. So that's step 1, which is building a set of examples. Let's go ahead and move on to step number 2, and that is to craft a professional looking pitch. I kind of touched on it when I was talking about this content creator over here. But when you craft a professional pitch, the site that I typically use very often is Canva. And Canva is free, and I'm sure many of you know about it, right? So it's a graphic design software for all of us that aren't graphically designed experts. What looks better, this mood board or this mood board? Which one would you rather pick? Probably this one, right? And the same with invoices. Would you rather send an invoice or pay an invoice that looks like this or one that looks like this? Again, that goes back to building trust, building rapport, someone who takes the extra time to craft a much more beautiful proposal that's way more expertly designed versus someone who kind of just pitching an idea and just sending mass emails like this to 30 publishers. Like, I guarantee you, if someone who sends an email like this to like 30 publishers versus someone who sends an email like this crafted uniquely for 5 different publishers, you're way more likely to book a publisher and work with them and communicate with them if you are on this side. Okay, final step of this process is to simply email your point of contact. Look, most sales, I would say like, I actually have never had a single sale done in a Twitter DM or an Instagram message or like a Facebook message. None of that has ever, no sales that has ever happened in a social media app. They've always been done in an email. So you want to email your point of contact and again, keep it short and have your proposal ready. When you're writing an email, I'm going to hark on you again. You need to make it about them, right? You're trying to give them value, them as in the publisher. You're trying to give the publisher value. You're not making it about yourself. You always have to make it about the publisher. Let's do an example exercise of one that I would typically write. Hello, publisher. My name is Tim Chuon, and I'm a board game photographer / videographer, and also will hyperlink those two words. I love Potato Taco Frenzy. That's all I can think of right now. I'm so hungry. I love Potato Taco Frenzy, and it's been a staple for our family game nights. Okay, boom. Here's your introduction. Here's your authentic reason why you're interested in the game. Next up, you want to introduce the problem without, key here, without being offensive. However, I noticed that your website for Potato Taco Frenzy is missing product photography. And I just wanted to include a free set of photos that you're more than welcome to use. If you enjoy the photos, I would love to work with you on commissioning updates for your remaining catalog. So notice here how you immediately just solve their problem. They have a game up on their website. Issue is, it's a great game, but no one can really know much information about it because it's missing a bunch of photos. That's missing with a lot of publisher catalogs. And then you offer an immediate and direct solution to the problem. People love immediate solutions. If they don't have it, boom, you provide an example of that they can use right away. Immediately, that just builds rapport, and that shows that you're willing to invest time into showcasing their product. Now, you also want to keep it transparent and clear that A, you want to work with them, but B, it's very, very super important that you are asking for a commission or a sponsorship, or that you want to work with them for paid content. That's why you're saying, I would love to work with you on commissioning. Keyword here is commissioning or some synonym of that. Updates for your remaining catalog. Bottom line, what you're saying is, here's what I'm capable of. Here's what I can offer for you. And 3, let's work together if all of these work for you. Keep it short. You introduce yourself. You tell them why you should work together. You give them examples of what you can do. And all that, I feel like, is one of the best things that you can do in order for you to work with the publisher. And at the end of the day, answer the question is, how do I find publishers and how do I work with them? So other than that, I hope you found today's video helpful in some way or another. If you are a fellow content creator watching this, I would love to hear your insight in the comments below, or, ultimately, I would love to see other people making videos like this too, because it would be very, very valuable to hear insight from other content creators in our very, very small niche of the board game industry. But on that, we'll continue on this solo journey until something changes in the future. But if you plan on pitching to other board game publishers, again, please don't spam them. Keep it short, concise, and to the point. And you know what? At the end of the day, best of luck to you on your journey for that. Please know that you're probably going to get a ton of no responses, and you may get 1 response out of like 20 emails you send. That's what my typical rate was back in the day. Nowadays, I usually send out maybe like 5 emails a month, and out of those, I'll hear back from like 3. So I still get a ton of rejections nowadays, and it's totally fine. It's just part of the process. Everyone's busy. Everyone's doing their own thing, which is totally fine. And if you don't get to work with a publisher now, then that doesn't mean that door is closed, because maybe it'll open an opportunity for you in the future once you keep refining your craft. So don't get discouraged. You got this, and I believe in you. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you found Wolfpack Wednesday number 17 helpful. If you made it here to the very end, comment. What would be a fun one? You know what? Let's keep it fun. Tell me what would be your favorite lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever time you're watching it now. What will be your favorite meal right now? For me, you heard it earlier, it's potato tacos, but I'm probably gonna end up just getting like nachos from Taco Bell or something. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching, for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one.